Good afternoon from the GoLocal Live Navigate Credit Union Broadcast Center here in a finally sunny Providence. A little chilly, but still it's sunny, so I'll take what we can get these days. I feel like summer's never going to come, but when it comes, it better come hot. Today, on The Taste, we are talking about the sweet side of life. It's a segment that people have been asking about since we covered some desserts back in the late winter. And I've got some tremendous people coming in that I'm very excited to talk to. We've got Becky, who's going to be in here in just a minute from Celebrated. I've got Michelle from La Maison de Coco. I'll probably mess that up, but she'll correct me a few times. I've got Xavier from the French Confection, who I'm really excited to talk to as well. And then my last guest is going to be Tiffany Wright, who is with Silver Spoon Bakery. So 4 great guests, a lot of great things happening with them. I promise your sweet tooth will be in overdrive after this. But I also want to give a nice shout out to my friends Adam and the folks over at Need. Need Donuts opened up a second location today, which I thought was awesome news to hear that they're expanding like that. And they were nice enough, because today was the sweet side of life, to give me all these beautiful goodies here. So their donuts are amazing. This location is now on the east side. It's 135 Elm Grove that they just opened up. Beautiful, big space, much bigger than the space they have here in downtown Providence. But excited to see them open a second location. Check them out, great people. And thanks, Adam, for hooking me up with some nice donuts here that will go well with my kids later. But to get the segment started, I'm going to bring in Becky. We've got a lot of sweet things to talk about and a lot of sweet things to taste and look at. So we're going to start with Becky. Whoa, look at this. Oh, all the colors, so many. Beautiful. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
You can get the cookies.
Taylor got cookies. Oh, my son's going to be in his glory.
A little bit of everything here.
So quick background on Becky. Her and I actually met when she was showcasing her products at Harbor Lights, right?
Yes,
It was
the
one of
Bridal
my,
Expo.
the Bridal Expo, that's right. So Harbor Lights is one of my clients, got to say that, but great location out in Warwick Neck, and you were there, and I think you had a lot of people talking to you.
Yeah, and that was my first Bridal Expo, so I had no idea what to expect, and it went so well. Like, I attracted a large group of people and got to talk to some potential couples. So
and you were
great.
showing off amazing things just like this. Yeah. So everybody was drooling and tasting for sure that day. So I want to talk about, before we get into your awesome products, but tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into this.
Sure. So my journey with baking has been over 6 years now. I actually started at City Girl Cupcake right on Way Boston over here.
Yeah.
I developed this infatuation with cupcakes and made it my mission to go around Rhode Island and find the best cupcakes.
What a mission. I like that mission.
Yeah, so I ate sweets, dragged my boyfriend every single weekend to try new cupcakes, and it all started from there. I basically begged the owner at the time to allow me in to bake, and eventually managed the bakery. It has since moved and been under new ownership. But after that, I actually moved on to Silver Spoon Bakery, which is here today.
Yeah, Tiffany's going to be here, right?
Yeah, and I actually trained Tiffany, fun fact.
That's so funny. Oh, I'm going to talk to you about that for sure now. That's
so,
awesome.
Yeah, so there's that history, and then I moved on to another bakery in Newton, Mass.
So you've really made this a passion. You've done well with this one.
Yeah, I just developed a passion for it and a love for it, and people kept asking me. I started making macaroons, and my friends basically were drooling over them. I would bring them to every party, and they were like, you need to sell those.
So you've gone on from that, from this experience, which the cupcake thing cracks me up. So from this great experience that you've gone on, you've actually created, though, a little bit of a different niche for yourself and how you're doing this. So tell us what makes your products different.
So my product is special because it is 100% plant-based. Everything is vegan, which means there are no animal products whatsoever. And that is because I am myself vegan. I've been vegan for 3 years now.
Wow.
And I'm very passionate about it. It's become a part of my life. And I wanted to translate that into my love for baking. And also, I'm in a niche because we don't have many vegan bakeries in Rhode Island, especially vegan bakers who do weddings.
Right. So that has led to some of the questions that I got, sent to me. And I did get everybody's questions. I'm going to ask the ones I can. So it brings one of the questions is that from people's perspective, and that it is a nice niche to be able to come in, especially when it goes to wedding cakes and things like that, is it challenging to be able to bake that way?
I think initially it's intimidating because people are like, well, what do you use for butter? What do you use for eggs? And even eating vegan is intimidating. I'll admit it was hard for me in the beginning. I didn't know what the hell to eat, and you know, it was like, oh, Oreos are vegan. I'll just binge on Oreos and pasta.
Really? Oreos are vegan?
Oreos are vegan.
Oh my God, who knew? See, I might be able to do it. No, I'm only kidding. I can't do it. Oreos aren't enough for me.
So, but over time, you just learn more and more. You're more exposed. There are so many options now. And now for treats, I'm trying to change perceptions also. And, you know, when people try, like, for instance, my cookies, which were part of a statewide Best of Cookies challenge, and I won first place.
You did? Congratulations.
I did,
That's fantastic.
against vegan and non-vegan competitors, which was amazing.
So I'm going to try a cookie, by the way. So what, because I couldn't mess them up earlier. So what do we put into the cookies to make them vegan?
So they're basically your average chocolate chip cookie, with the exception that I have a substitute for butter and eggs. The substitute for eggs is a combination of
I'm going to be in real trouble by the end of this segment.
I'm going to leave them all for you, too.
Oh, my God. All right, so what's the substitute?
So there's an egg substitute, and then there's a butter substitute, which is an oil blend. So it's still real food. It's not like I'm using Frankenfoods here to make cookies. There's still flour, there's still sugar. Not only that, it's mostly organic. All of my products I like to infuse mostly organic whenever possible.
So part of this myth, in talking about this, and I think you're right, it relates to all things vegan, is that the taste is going to be different.
Right.
Or it's not going to be as good as what other people expect.
Yeah.
I would never know the difference. This is
That's what I hear a
amazing.
lot, that like, oh, I could never tell, there's no eggs in there, there's no butter in there, and I even kind of surprised the judges too at the competition. They all turned to me and were like, what, that was vegan?
I can see why.
They just couldn't believe it. Yeah, and I had the cookie dough there as well. I don't know if you're a cookie dough fan.
Oh,
but
yeah. Yep.
Who isn't?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's gained such popularity that, you know, at the markets and everything, I give it away as samples, and people are like, you need to jar that, you need to sell that, it's so good.
Seriously. All right, so let's talk about the type of things that you do have. Okay. And I actually wanted to give it to the wedding side of things, because you brought this really cool, unique cake when I last saw you.
Yes.
So I want to bring that up too.
Yes.
But so tell me what you brought here today besides the delicious cookies that I just ate.
So I also have French macaron. So those are your traditional almond flour and meringue-based cookie. I do have a substitute for meringue as well, since I don't use eggs. And that's like a secret, not so secret ingredient. Many people might not know what it is, but it's called aquafaba.
I can't even say it.
Do you want to know what that is?
Yes, I want to know what that is because I can't pronounce it.
So aquafaba is actually the water from a can of chickpeas. Believe it or not.
From a can of chickpeas?
A can of chickpeas, you drain chickpeas,
Yeah.
and the water that you have left, you whip it up, you add some granulated sugar, and voila, it's the consistency of meringue. It's crazy.
Really?
It still blows my mind every single time I make it.
So I've been wasting all the water every time I eat my chickpeas in
I
my
know,
salad.
give me your
my gosh.
water.
I'll have to save it up for you.
So what happens is now I have a surplus of chickpeas. So
But
if there's
chickpeas are
anybody
vegan, though.
out there who needs chickpeas,
But can you eat the chickpeas? They're vegan, aren't they?
I do, but
Well,
like I'm talking
lot of
like I'm talking
chickpeas.
like 30 cans of chickpeas a week.
My
So
God.
like between me and my fiance, like we sustain ourselves on chickpeas, which is totally cool. But
Poor guy, he had cupcakes and now he's got to eat chickpeas.
yeah, I know. There's always
this
something.
Poor guy. All right, so we got
so
the
I have
breads.
the French macarons, and then I also have an assortment of mini cupcakes, just because I love mini things. And these are all items that I would put on a wedding dessert table if you wanted to do an assortment of desserts. So I have a chocolate cake here with shredded coconut inside the cake and a coconut buttercream.
Nice.
I have a vanilla cake with funfetti sprinkles in there. And all the sprinkles and everything I use is 100% plant-based as well, vegan, no artificial colorings or additives ever. I have scoured the internet
So
to find
no artificial colorings.
no artificial colorings. Everything is made with fruits and vegetables. I have found a company that produces powdered food coloring, but it's all made from plants and vegetables
That's fantastic.
and fruits.
That's really it's encouraging
yeah.
to hear that those things are out there and available too. So
Right. Yeah.
awesome.
I mean, they are a little bit they're costly for
Right.
like your everyday baker, but and then I also have what I call a raspberry lemonade cupcake.
And I like the little straw going on.
Yeah,
That's
just a
awesome.
little straw
Nice
for
little
like
touch.
cuteness and like spring. So.
So these awesome things are something that you should look to, but you've been doing other events. Like you said, these are something that could be done at a wedding, but you've been doing wedding cakes since how I met you.
Yeah.
And you had this very cool cake. So tell us about the kind of cakes you had and mention that one because that one was really cool.
Oh, I bet you're talking about the geode cake.
I am.
So I had a geode cake there, and those have kind of blown up on Instagram. Especially for me, because I'm like on Instagram constantly all day, and I'm a foodie, so I'm always looking at pictures of food, and so these are kind of blown up.
So it looks like a geode, like the
yeah,
scientific.
so it looks like if you cut inside of a geode, and you have that kind of shape, and there's all different colors. You can really get creative with it. So I use a rock candy that is hand painted.
It was
with the
very
food
cool.
coloring.
It was drawing a lot of attention. So, and I didn't know that was a thing until I saw it there. And then all of a sudden, I was seeing it everywhere. So
they're so fun, and like I'm all about like obscure and doing stuff that is not around here. You know, like cakes people have not seen before. I do a lot of unicorn cakes.
I put one of those up today.
Fun.
I thought that was great.
Yeah, like I get a lot of requests for unicorn cakes, the geode cakes, but I'm all about pushing my boundaries. I love to be challenged. Like I love people to come to me and say like, hey, can you make this, or can you make that, or this is my wedding theme, and what can you do? And you know, just having that creative freedom. And
I think that's a lot to your credit there, because people are looking for that now, and it's sometimes not always easy to find. And I think all of the guests that I have today, you guys are showcasing that you deal directly with your guests, they can talk to you, and pushing the limits and doing new things. And that's not only did you do new with how you're baking this, but the style and the products you're putting out. That geode cake was wild. It was just, I was still blown away. I still talk about it. We have a picture of it because it was just an awesome thing.
Yeah, it's like a product that wows, but then you also have this service-based company behind it. You know, somebody who's working with you one-on-one. It's just me behind the scenes. When you are emailing me, you are speaking directly to me. When you are going to my website, that's all me. And that's awesome. I just love having that like one-on-one interaction.
So as a baker, what is your favorite thing to make? That's our last question for her, because she's done great.
That's tough. I honestly, I love them all. I can't choose favorites. They're like my kids.
They're like your kids.
The macaroon has been like such a challenge, like a journey. Like I will tell you, I started making those 5 months ago.
Really?
And I've finally gotten to a point where I am satisfied with it. I'm the only baker that I know of in New England who makes a vegan French macaron.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so it's definitely in a niche. So those are my favorite just because of all the blood, sweat, and tears that have gone into them.
That's a really good reason. That's awesome. Well, congratulations to you. I'm excited. I'm glad that we met you. I know that she's going to be doing great business, because once people find out that you have this style, this niche that you're filling is going to be a really good one for people.
Yes.
So. And I'll be eating more of these cookies afterwards, I guarantee you. But thank you so much for making the time to come in today. I'm sure I'll be seeing you more over the summer, because I'll be eating more of her stuff.
Yes, and we'll be at the Cupcake Challenge this weekend and New England Veg Fest on April 29th.
I forgot that that's weekend. That's awesome. Well,
yes.
I hope you win. Congratulations.
Thank you so
All right. Thanks for coming in,
All
Becky.
right, thank you.
Taylor. I think one of these are pistachios. You're going to have to save one of those for me. They look awesome. Thank you. No, don't eat them all on me, Taylor. So that was awesome. A great niche. Becky's done an awesome job. Very excited that she came in today, and that cookie was absolutely amazing. Now I'm excited to get on and bring in Michelle, this awesome chocolatier that I've heard all these wonderful things about, and actually even read some great things about her. So I was excited that she was available to join us today, and I'm excited to hear about her background, because I know there's wine involved. Hey, look at this!
We practiced that.
Look
we did
at this.
Not practice that.
Beautiful. You want me to take these off here?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, we'll put those.
Look at this. Taylor, let you slide that out. All right, Taylor's looking. Oh my gosh, we got a lot of good stuff. Actually, you know what? We'll leave this here till the end so we can make it easier.
I'm going to do that in the back there.
Perfect. Anytime there's wine and chocolate, I'm in heaven.
Me too.
Look at that.
Hey.
Oh my gosh.
Who wouldn't be? Okay.
Taylor, you're going to be in chocolate overload later.
I love it. I'm so excited.
Michelle, thanks for making the time. I know you had a lot going on. I'm so happy you're here to join me.
So welcome. Thank you for having me here with you.
So I heard very wonderful stuff about Michelle, and I read this awesome article by Edible Roadie that did it on, wrote this great column on you. Beautiful pictures too, I have to say.
Beautiful.
And then we have a mutual friend in Joe Simone from Simone's.
Yes.
And my long lost cousin is what we tell everybody now. And he couldn't stop talking about you either. After you and I connected with him. So I'm excited to have you come in. And the biggest question out there is everyone is asking me is, how did you get started in this? So we got to address that first.
Gosh.
So.
Well, one of my favorite things to share is that, well, I've always loved chocolate and I've always loved tea, and so that's my specialty. But when I was living in New York City, I worked for a fashion company and we did trade shows, and I kind of needed a creative outlet. So what I did was I worked with a French chef, and he taught me the basics of French cooking. I took classes from him for about 9 months. And that started the wheels turning, and oh my gosh, this is what I really love. My husband had the opportunity as an architect to move back to France and work in France, so I went with him. And what better way to learn about
good excuse to have to go, huh?
Right? Yeah. So we went there, and a lot of what we did in the afternoons, during the weekends, we'd go to this salon de thé, and I tasted an incredible chocolate there. I tasted some liquid chocolate.
Oh my gosh.
And then in the holiday season, they changed the whole front of the store to all of these towers of chocolates. And almost, similar to this with packaging and everything. And I just was like, the wind was knocked out of me, and I just like, this is so beautiful, and this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Wow.
So that's how it got started. I came back to the US and started playing with chocolate and tea.
So this is like a love affair.
This is, oh yeah.
And now your French is perfect.
My French is not perfect, but it's conversational.
To me, it's
It
perfect.
is.
To me, it's perfect.
I didn't correct you.
I know.
You noticed that, right?
But I'm going to let her say it properly now because I should have be corrected. So having that experience and bringing it back, you started out and you were in Newport when you came back and started out, right?
Actually, I was in Massachusetts for a while. And this is going back quite a while. But I helped my husband start his business in the United States, and under one condition, that I could continue to do my chocolate and baking, and so I did, and that's how I fell upon the first truffle that I did, which was an Earl Grey truffle. But then I decided to play with that idea and I love tea, so why not do a plum oolong one? And that was my first creative outlet for the
So how do you
truffles.
locate the teas? Other than being someone that enjoys them, how are you locating these
So
teas?
the company that I source from actually started about the same time as I did, about 17 or 18 years ago, and it's Rishi Tea. And the reason I gravitated toward them was because they were sourcing directly from the tea estates, bringing back as fresh as they possibly could, helping the farmers as well on these estates, and giving back to the communities. And I really love that whole philosophy, and they had really wonderful teas. So I've been very loyal to them for that time. And they've also been a source of inspiration for me. You know, when I read about the teas, it's very much like wine. When you read or you taste the wine, you kind of know, for me, instinctually what is going to work and work well with chocolate. So
now you've got the tea. Where's your chocolate coming from?
The chocolate comes from Madagascar, is what I chose to have chocolate. I don't bring it back. I'm not a manufacturer of chocolate, so I don't have the winnowing machines and all of that, although maybe one day. But right now, I use 64% dark chocolate from Madagascar. And the reason I chose that is because it goes very well. It has a fruitier complexion to it, and so it goes very well with, in my opinion, some of the teas that I use.
So the chocolate and the tea, and then I also heard that you have a nice local component that you're getting.
Absolutely. So there are only 3 ingredients to my
Right,
truffles.
that's what I was
which is
amazed with,
beautiful.
yeah.
You know, there are no fillers, there are no oils or butters or anything. The cream comes from Aruta's Dairy, right in Tiverton, Rhode Island.
That's awesome.
And I have been, ever since I moved here 12 years ago, they have been my source for my cream.
I think that's fantastic. We always love it when there's a nice local connection.
Yes.
So kind of tell us about your location now, because talking about your husband and being an architect, you have this beautiful space that I've seen pictures of.
Yes, that was a dream. When we moved into the property, first of all, the property was called the Durfee Tea House, and we just had to move in because of my background. So it also had a barn, which was kind of falling down, and we decided that we needed to actually, I'll say this, it makes me sound a little bit strange and new agey, but every time I walked into the barn, I would hear this whisper, you know, this is your space, this is where you need to
where
be
you gotta
making your chocolates. So I just was trying to be patient, and I was happy that I opened the shop in Newport,
Right.
because it opened up, you know, that whole community for me. But this space kept calling, so we renovated it. It took a long time for the renovation. A year and a half completed. We had to put a new septic system in. And we had to do structural work. As many people know with projects, as soon as you start one thing, another thing.
pops
So
up on
we
you.
literally had to redo all of the foundation work for the barn so it could stand up.
But you've created, like you said, this space was speaking to you, and you've recreated to make this space your own now. So
Yes.
it's kind of taken a new piece of history that you're putting over there.
Yeah, I think Ruth Durfee would be really happy
That's
with
awesome.
me.
I agree with you. I have to agree with you. So before we talk about what happens at the space, because she's got great things that she's brought in for us to do, I want to talk about your process and the type of things that you do carry, because you've got a lot of nice stuff that you've done over there.
Right.
Beautiful, beautiful photographs to look at too as well. So tell us what you make.
So it's all based on tea infusion. So it's chocolate truffles, as we discussed, and they're based on, because I was in the fashion industry, they're based on different collections. So we have a fall-winter collection, a spring-summer collection, resort and holiday, and they are all based on like things that our bodies really are craving at that time of year. We're tasting today some from the spring-summer collection.
Nice.
So those are the truffles. We also have mendiant, which are dried fruit and nuts on discs of dark chocolate, and these have the gold on
I
them.
think this is the one that I grabbed a picture of today, I believe, because I
And-
put this awesome picture up today. Yep, this is the one.
And,
Yeah.
and I also make them in white chocolate as well as milk chocolate.
Yes, white chocolate.
The other item that we have is a chocolate bar. We have 3 different kinds of chocolate bars that are square. And I neglected to bring them, I'm sorry.
No
Little
worries.
chocolate bars. But, and those are, 2 of them are infused in tea. They actually have the tea in them to kind of add to the creaminess of the chocolate, but then
Okay.
gives it a little bit of a crunch. So we have a milk chocolate Indian spice. We have a sea salted caramel, dark chocolate, 64%, and we also have a 64% without any tea in it, and it has cacao nibs and sugared ginger on
Oh,
it.
God, that's awesome. That is
Yeah.
simply awesome. So,
And what else do I? And I have mendiant au thé as well, little discs of dark chocolate and white chocolate that you like,
That'd
that
be
have
my
the
glory.
lavender
Yep,
in it.
I
They have
love
tea
that.
in them.
Yep.
So those are some of the items. I have a gluten-free cookie that is available on the website. That is kind of a spiced square. We call it a carré cookie, and it's a spiced square cookie. It has some nuts in it.
So the way that people can purchase this is visiting the site.
Yes.
And then
yeah.
also signing up for like a reoccurring.
Yes. Well, I figured, we went over this when you were talking to me on the phone,
Yeah.
you know, like, why just enjoy sweets on, you know, for special occasions? Why not enjoy it every day? Make a special moment for yourself every day. So I came up with this idea of having people purchase a subscription series. So every month I put together, as the chef, I put together a surprise package for them, and they receive a package from me with a little note from me explaining why I did this for them, and that's, you know, that's what we do on a monthly basis.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
And people can you can sign up from anywhere. You don't have to be just in Rhode Island.
Oh
You've got
no, I
customers
ship
all
all
over the place.
over the country. Yeah,
Awesome.
I mean, it was wonderful to have the boutique down in Newport, because it is a tourist town. So a
Right.
lot of my clients then would go home to their different locations all over the country, and
Wonder how they can
and-
still get more of your stuff.
Yeah, so that's how this idea
That's
came
perfect.
into play.
So now we're going to go into one of the things that she actually does at the space, and I'm going to get taste some wine and chocolate. So, all right, so
Yes.
should I move this here so we can showcase a little bit? Okay.
Absolutely. So we have, what I brought in today, I knew that you like some white wine. I remembered that from something I had seen.
Oh, I'm not prejudiced against any wine.
yeah.
I love it. No worries.
Well, a Gewürztraminer, in my opinion, ooh, I just hit my...
I hit it all the time.
Okay.
All right.
Well, the Gewürztraminer has a little bit of honeysuckle, white flowers, like jasmine perhaps. And I thought it might marry well with one of our truffles from the Spring Summer collection, which is the Jasmine Peach Blossom. And I have done this pairing before. And so we do taste the wine first.
Okay.
and-
I don't have any problem with that.
No.
See, and this is, I love Gewürztraminer to begin with, because it's not overpowering with the sweetness, but this is perfect to start off with the summer.
And
so
you
the
do,
spring.
I mean, it does say Gewürzt is like spiciness, so there is a little bit of a
Right.
spiciness on the finish. But now we taste a truffle.
Okay.
These are the jasmine peach blossom.
Jasmine peach blossom.
And what I love to do is, so when we taste chocolate, we're tasting it, we're letting it melt. Chocolate melts with our body temperature, letting it melt in the palate of our mouth. And we just let the different flavors kind of, it's wonderful between wine
Oh my
and
God.
chocolate, the different levels of flavor. Not only do you have the flavor and the nose of the chocolate, but then the tea kicks in.
That's what I'm getting right now. Mm-hmm. This is absolutely amazing. So when you do these, groups can come in and do these actual tastings with you at your space, right?
Well, at my space is a commercial kitchen, and the town of Portsmouth allowed me a variance to have my commercial kitchen there. I do these on location, the truffle and wine pairings. I'd love to do it at my space.
So
but
you bring this to
let's
to
talk
people?
to the town of Portsmouth.
Oh my God, I'll go testify for you. So these, you do these, you travel to bring these to people for things? So one of the things I read was your commitment to charities and helping out charities, and this is one of the things that you bring to groups?
Yes, it's a great way for people to sell tickets for their nonprofit organization, and a portion of the tickets goes to the organization. And it's just a fun way. We've done small groups, 23 people, all the way up to, I've done large groups up to like 200 people roaming around, and they kind of come by the table where I've set up, and they don't leave because it's so much fun.
So I'm a wine enthusiast. I know that's no big secret out there. This was amazing. This was like, and now it's opened up more on me. I'm getting the tea on the end, like you talked about, and then being honest. How are you determining the wines that you're pairing up with? A lot of practice back and forth, or certain
A lot
things
of
just
practice.
come to mind?
Again, I know the teas, I know the chocolate, and the different highlighted nuances that I want to bring out. And many times it's just a marrying of flavors. So I do have to do a lot of taste testing and wine tasting. I know, poor me, but I have to do that. And so that's really how it works, and it's just.
To me, and like I said, I'm tasting wine all the time. This is the ideal situation. I can see, like you're saying, not just specific celebrations, but an everyday celebration of being able to go do something like this. And I got to tell you, I've got like 5 charity groups that come off the top of my head that would love something.
And the other aspect that I'd love to market is for weddings as well, because I think it's a lot of people are going towards the experience for their weddings, and what a great way to, after the rehearsal, to do a truffle and wine pairing with your group and then go to dinner. It's just really, I mean, I love it so much.
You hit the mark.
And I love sharing. We talk about a little bit of the history of chocolate as well at the beginning. Then we really get into, which we don't have time here, but the nuances of the flavors of the chocolates and the different levels. But
so before we taste the next one,
Yes.
You've kind of mastered this and how you've gotten the teas in, and you said you keep up to date with the providers and the natural things that they're coming out with. Do you feel like you're evolving and keep changing them and keep going back and forth, the new things that are out there? Because this, to me, is the sky's the limit in my
absolutely.
what I would think.
That's why I came up with the resort collection. I was kind of like, oh my God, in the humdrums of the winter weather, and I was like, God. One of my friends and my twin sister went off to, the South in the Caribbean, and I was like, really? So I said, I'm going to treat myself and create a resort collection. So that's what I did, and I found, some of the, it's hit or miss. Some of the teas that I thought were going to work didn't, but then another one was a big surprise, and it did work. So that's
you've
how.
got a lot of experiment going on.
Yeah,
That's
I'm an alchemist in there in that
I would be in
kitchen.
my glory doing that. All right, so now we got something that's going to go with, what do we got here?
This is a Camoniere.
Oh, nice.
And Camoniere from Chile. First of all, the Camoniere grape was originally from Bordeaux, but then the blight wiped it all out, and they found that the Chileans had saved the grape down in Chile. So this
they
comes
saved the
from.
vines.
They did. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So that's how.
I'm learning more stuff about wine today too.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So Camoniere, this is from the foothills of the Andes, and the reason I wanted to choose this is going with a lavender dark chocolate truffle.
Okay.
The reason I chose this is because of the herbaceousness of the red wine, and I'm hoping, I haven't ever tasted this La Mission, but
I have not had this one. This is beautiful. I'm gonna have to reach out to you later on and find where I got that, because now I'm gonna get a bottle of that. So this is going with the lavender.
Yes,
Okay.
and
I'll take over
what
a sip.
I've tasted the Camanier before from Chile, and what I loved about it was the herbaceousness and the kind of effervescent eucalyptus kind of taste to it, which I thought would lend itself well to the lavender truffle. So let's see. I wish you all were with us doing this
Don't worry.
tasting, but we'll tell you how it is.
I'm doing this all for everyone out there. You know, this is a rough job to do in the middle of the day, but I am making sure that I'm doing all this for you to educate you all out there. Kate and Josh, unfortunately, I know you guys won't like this, but I will definitely take care of it for you. No worries. Vitaly, I think you're going to like it, though. This is delicious. Absolutely. I mean...
And you know what I found? That men used to come into the boutique, they would love lavender. It's not a flavor that you would think a lot of men would like, but that has been a favorite.
I can't even speak.
Yeah, okay, I'll just keep
Roll her
talking.
dog.
So, we don't have napkins here and he's drooling.
This is fantastic. This is absolutely fantastic. This could be my new favorite thing, I'm telling you right now.
Oh, good. Well, I you know, any type of party is time to put truffles and wine together, right?
And everyone knows I like a good party, so that's fantastic. All right. I'm going to make sure that all the social media and stuff that's out there, you know how to get a hold of Michelle, because this is a fantastic thing to not only be able to purchase the stuff that she has, but to be able to pair this up. This was a wonderful, wonderful idea. I can't believe that I haven't done it before, so I'm enthralled with this. So thank you so much for making the time today to do this.
Thank you for calling.
Congratulations to you on your success and being able to follow your passion and put that stuff in there, because you've done awesome.
Thank you.
And I'm going to be sipping these later
Yeah,
on, telling you.
I'll leave them here.
Oh, thank you. All right.
Okay.
Taylor, I don't want to mess you up on this, so like that. You're going to love these chocolates.
I know.
Taylor's like, I know.
I told your son.
Those two are mine. Don't let them go to waste.
That's fine. I told him that he better stop eating them all.
Oh, Gio's eating everything? Here, take that.
You.
Oh, the box. Oh, me? No way. Take that one with you so we can have something to put it in for you. Yep, right there. All right. Thank you, Michelle. This was fantastic. I'm in my glory over here. All right. Believe it or not, we have 2 more to go, so I'm very excited to bring in my next guest, Xavier from the French Confection. Also heard a lot of great things, and he's got a great back. Oh, look at this.
Here we go.
I love this. Beautiful.
Add 2 more.
Nice to see. Oh, you got more? All right. Look at this. Come on over here. So not only do I love the hat, okay, but another person that's got the French down, and he's probably got it better down than all of us combined. He's got the pin going on. Look at this. Oh.
Croissant,
Croissant.
macaron.
Beautiful. I'm going to put these ones right back here and like this, because I want everybody to see these beautiful things. The colors on that are fantastic. All right, so I have to kind of start with a similar question that I've started with is I really, really want everybody to know about your background, because you literally grew up.
Yeah, I was born in France, in Reims,
Yep.
Reims, and I was born above my parents' bakery. We had a house, we had the bakery on the first floor, and we had the house on top, and that's where I was born.
So
and
this has been in your family.
yeah, that used to be my grandpa's bakery, and now after it was my dad and mine.
So I was reading, and I think we talked about it too, is that so it's 5 generations on one side of the family and 4 generations
And 4th
so
on the other side, because what happened, it's when my dad was like 23, 24, my grandparents told him to go to the ball, the baker's ball,
Yep.
and be married and find a wife, or just don't stay home. So
Don't
he found the wife, and they were both bakers because everybody was a baker.
I love that. It's a great story. So when did you come over to the United States? How old were you?
I came in 1985.
And did you instantly carry this on and get staying with it?
I worked in a restaurant making pastries and croissants, and after that I worked in a wholesale bakery. And I was a manager, and it was really too hard for me to be a manager because I was working too many hours. So we decided to open our own business in 1991.
Okay. So this business that you have now, going from 91 to where you're now, every piece of feedback that I got is that you're like a local spot. People love coming you in.
Yeah.
And then the locals are telling me, oh, it's not just a local spot. You should see the tourists that are coming in to where you are.
Yeah, we have a lot of hotels around us, and we have a lot of tourists in the summer.
So the items that you're carrying, we're going to get to the sweet side of life, I promise you. But what I found amazing is that you're not just, you're carried this sweet side and this love of what you're doing over to lunch items and the croissants, right?
Yeah. We make we do sandwich on croissants. We have turkey, we have chicken salad, we have tuna salad, and roast beef, ham.
I'd be in my glory. I'd be in my
It's
glory.
really good.
So tell us about where you're located and kind of provide us a little visual of the space.
We're
that you're
in
in.
Middletown on East Main Road, and it's right across from the Christmas tree shop and Shaw's. There's a shopping center. We're right across from there, and we're next to a barbecue place called Becky's Barbecue.
Nice. So you got
Yeah.
barbecue next door to the
Yeah,
bakery.
yeah, barbecue, and you have dessert next door.
So you have a wide variety. You've got cakes as well. You've got
We
those
do
as well.
cakes, we do weddings.
So let's talk about what you brought today, and then we're going to get into these cakes. 'Cause I've told there's a massive variety of cakes that you do. Is that right?
Yeah, there's a big menu.
It's a big menu. All right. So tell me what you brought here today.
We have the butter croissants and chocolate croissants.
That's chocolate. Oh my gosh! Look at that.
Yeah, it's
I tell you,
chocolate.
can you see that? There's chocolate in this baby.
Yeah, and it's all made with butter, and I make all my doughs from scratch.
Really?
With butter, yeah.
So, besides the consumers are coming in, do you provide anybody outside of the? there?
Not
Is like
really,
No wholesale or
not
anything?
much.
Okay.
We have caterers, they come and pick up. We do their wedding cake sometimes.
Okay. Because I'd be calling you for this. What do we got on this plate?
And we have like fruit tarts, that's red currants. We have a dark and stormy. I made this cake special
Dark
because
and stormy.
I made this cake special because we are in Newport, so it's a pound cake and spiced caramel and buttercream and dark rum,
My God.
spice rum.
I'm eating that one after.
We have a tiramisu, and we have a raspberry and vanilla buttercream, and we have a German chocolate cake and a key lime pie, carrot cake and an eclair.
And all these are things that you've got available that you make.
Yeah, and we make all this from scratch.
All this from scratch.
Yeah.
I am going to be rolling out of here by the time this show's over later on.
And we have more fruit tarts, mango, blueberry, kiwi, strawberries. We also have the opera. It's a gluten-free cake made with almond flour, and it has mocha buttercream and chocolate ganache.
Really?
It's really good, yeah.
Gluten-free cake. I might have to give this
Yeah.
one to Kate afterwards.
We have a cream puff made with a real whipped cream and a Napoleon.
Oh my gosh. All these things that I love.
And
It's
all the
amazing.
macarons.
Look at these.
Macarons are gluten-free too because they're made with almond flour.
Really?
Yeah.
So how many, just out of curiosity, how many different types of macarons are there?
They're all the same. The shells are all the same.
Okay.
The filling is like 20
different kinds of filling.
24 different kind of filling.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So this one right here, what is this one?
I think it's chocolate mint.
Chocolate
The
mint.
chocolate mint.
That'll
I
work.
think
Chocolate mint. That'll
it
work. I'm
chocolate
going to
in
try
there?
that one. Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
it's delicious.
And we have orange and blackberry, hazelnut.
Oh my God, this is like
We have,
chocolate chip
we
ice
have
cream.
rose petal. We have all kinds.
God, I'm in my glory today. This is amazing. All right. So there is this, I saw this out there and I was talking to some people to visit you. Not only do you have this incredible selection of stuff out there,
Yeah.
but the sandwiches and things that you carry. How many different is it? And you consider it like French comfort food, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I make a really good French meat pie. I say French because it's not a meat pie like you find everywhere in the area. It's made with my dough, my puff pastry dough made with butter. And what I do, I cube the pork shoulder and marinate it in white wine and spices, and it's really good.
How big is this?
It's like a turnover. It's like
So
an
like a plate?
empanada.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, I'm coming out there just for that.
So we make that, and we make chicken pot pies and all the sandwiches. And quiche, we have a lot of quiche. We have like 5 or 6 kinds of quiches, and we sell a lot of these.
So really coming in for breakfast and lunch is not a problem.
No problem.
What
No
are the-
problem at all.
No problem at all. What are the hours that you're open?
We're open 7 to 6 during the week, like Tuesday through Friday right now.
Okay.
And Saturday we're open 8 to 3, and on Sunday also. We're closed on Mondays in the winter. July and August, we are open every day.
I think if I'm down in Middletown, I'm going to be in real trouble. All right, so let's talk about these cakes, because I'm told, was it 20s or 24 or some big number? Different?
I'm not sure because we can do mix and match.
You can
So,
mix and match.
We have mousse cakes. We have a really good devil's food cake, and we work with sponge cake.
So these cakes, you can make cakes not only for weddings, but you can do special occasions as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So one of the questions that came up, and I'm going to answer this question for you, Pete, is it came up about talking about Mother's Day. And yes, all of my guests today would have great, wonderful things to help celebrate Mother's Day. And Michelle, who was in before, summed it up that every day can be a celebration. But for people to come in and get a nice assortment from you, do you recommend, is it preferable that they come in if they're going to order a larger assortment and place the order in advance, or just come into the shop? Or
It's better to place the order in advance, but a lot of people don't do it because they cannot decide, I guess.
they can't decide.
So, but
I might have that problem,
for
Xavier.
Mother's Day,
I might have that
you
problem.
can surprise your mom with a box of macarons. It's always good. We always have plenty. But the cakes, if it's a big cake, it needs to be ordered in advance.
So from a special occasion standpoint, there's really nothing you couldn't do from a cake, whether it was a baptism, graduation.
No, we do all these.
Okay. And then the weddings that are coming up. So I was talking to Becky, my first guest was coming in, and she's got, different styles and things that are coming out there. If someone's ordering these cakes and want to come in, can they come in and sit down with you, talk about the style? what they're looking?
Usually they sit down with my wife, who works with me, and they can have a cake tasting for free.
Nice.
Yeah, so everybody is getting married.
Everybody's getting married. There you go. You can go have the cake tasting. So what, after all this time, and you grew up with this, and you've got the 5 and the 4 generations on each side,
Yeah.
after all this time and all the things that you're making now, do you find that you're still making new things and kind of experimenting, or do you
Yeah,
stick
like
with
the
traditional?
dark and stormy, and
Yeah.
what did we do? I don't remember. It cannot come. To me.
But it still happens though,
Yeah,
when you're
yeah.
growing and learning.
Like
more as well.
I made a cake called the Rochambeau because we're in Newport. So it's a chocolate cake with chocolate custard and it's chocolate glaze on top. It's really good and moist.
Oh my God, this is killing me today. Now, going to all of this that you make, all the cakes and stuff like that, do you have a favorite that you really enjoy when you're going in and you're baking?
I really like the opera.
Really?
Even when I tell customer it's gluten-free, they're like, oh, I don't want gluten-free. But I should not tell them it's gluten-free because
when they
you
try it,
cannot
they
tell.
won't know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, now I'm going to have to make sure the cake gets one and I get one afterwards. Let's try it. Then croissant-wise. So I am a huge croissant fan. I like to make sandwiches, them. Ham, cheese, all this
We
different
do
stuff.
ham and cheese croissants and feta spinach croissants.
Spinach too?
Yeah, spinach and feta. Yeah.
Spinach and feta?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I mean, like glory God. Your croissants look amazing. The size-wise, how they've, I don't know what the right terminology is to say,
Flaky.
but yes, how they flaked up and do it. I have the hardest time finding croissants like this.
I know.
It's like why is that though? Is there a certain style or certain
First you have to use butter.
Okay.
If you don't use butter, use margarine. It won't get flaky. The margarine is too soft to work with with the dough.
So there is a science behind this.
So a lot of things is butter makes it a lot better.
I think butter makes everything better. It's like me with wine. I think wine makes everything better too.
Yeah.
All right, well, Chef, you've been amazing. I truly, truly appreciate you taking the time to come in from Middletown today and showcase all your wonderful stuff. You'll see me eating some of this afterwards, and we'll put some great pictures up, but be very proud. The 5 and the 4 generations thing is amazing, and I hope you got
Thank
more
you.
generations after you. Thank you,
you,
Chef
Rick.
Xavier. I appreciate it. Let's slide these right out with you. One of those croissants is making me drool. All right. I don't know how much of this will be left at the end because this is already driving me crazy. Taylor, we got some more good stuff here.
Oh, I know.
She knows. All right. You got him? Yep. Okay. So my final guest, and I got a nice test connector to my first guest, is Tiffany Wright, who is the executive pastry chef over at Silver Spoon Bakery. And again, if you're online and checking out my social media and seeing the pictures, you'll know that they have got some incredible pictures of the work and things that they do over there. And they've also got a unique setup. So we're going to talk to Tiffany about that when she comes in. And I know that there's some more wine because I'm excited about that. Hey, how are you? Oh,
I brought presents.
look at this. I love presents.
There's one
Oh,
more
let's-
coming special
Whoa,
just for you.
wow.
There's that.
All right, I got to get some glasses over here for us.
Here, we'll switch. You like red or white?
I like everything.
That one's
not
actually
pressure.
really good.
My favorite.
You got your favorite? Oh, look at this. We'll put that one right in the middle. Taylor, can you open this one up for us?
And this one's actually
just
just
slide
a
it back.
pop off.
Look at that. All right, so I didn't know until now that you have a connection to Becky from Celebrating.
I do. She actually opened it with the previous owners, and she got everything going, and now she's doing her own thing.
Yeah, and
It's
she
really
said that
cool.
and she said that you guys worked great together, and she was touting you.
Yeah,
She was
she's
all right.
an awesome person to learn from. She really is.
Yeah, and I'm very excited for the work that she's doing. So you and I were speaking earlier, and you've been at this for a while now too.
Yeah, it's 8 years now. I went to Connecticut Culinary, which is in Hartford, or was. It actually closed down, unfortunately. But then I worked at 1149 for 3 years.
Oh, another
I
great spot.
Worked in Boston at Radius for a while. I worked at Mystic Market and Mystic, and then Silver Spoon Bakery.
So you've gained some great experience.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's fantastic though. At your age to be able to get, oh, Taylor's got an open bottle.
Thank you.
Look at this. All right, so what I want to talk about is we got your background covered there, but there is your setup, and just the fact that you brought these in alone is different than a lot of bakery setup. So kind of paint for us a verbal visual, if you will, of what Silver Spoon is and how it's set up there. And I have to throw in this thing about the salons because I'm hearing all about these. So you got to tell us about that as well.
Yeah, so when you walk in, it's actually a house. It was built in 1790, so you really can't tell that it's a bakery until you walk in. And
1790?
Then 1790. The house goes actually in like this, so it's like you're walking through a fun house.
Wow.
But so you have 2 rooms to your left and your right when you go in. We have the lounge and the tea room. One's more comfier and has a couch, a little bit more laid back. And then we have the darker room that's more intimate. And then the bakery part's kind of hidden in the back, but it's full of all different drinks. We have dessert martinis. Our specialty is the espresso martini, and that goes with pretty much anything. All different wines. And then we actually have scotch if you like that, and Jack Daniels.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that would like that. Well, cheers to you guys.
Cheers, thank you.
Thank you for bringing these in.
This one's actually really good. I like it.
Awesome, I love that. So, in talking about this space and how it's set up, so people are coming in and it's kind of more of a unique experience. They can enjoy these baked goods, sit down and have a glass of wine. I had someone that reached out to me and said that they did date nights at your place, that they've come over at night and relaxed and chilled out. So is it that people can use those rooms if they want to host an event as well?
We actually have a party room that's in the back. It's bigger, it's larger. We do baby showers. We actually do cupcake birthday parties too with little kids, which is always fun. And then if you wanted to rent the tea room and the lounge, you can, but they're not as big as the party room.
Not as large a space.
Yeah.
Okay. And then cupcakes. So you brought up cupcakes. Let's go to what you brought here today because I've got like a zillion questions about all this cupcake stuff. So tell me what you brought.
So we have over 300 cupcakes.
That's what the question. Over 300. That was how many people asked me how many cupcakes carry. Now you know, over 300.
It's crazy. So if you wanted a mango cupcake, we got you. So today we have triple chocolate, silver dollar, which we actually donate all the funds to St. Jude's. That's why it's the teal color.
Really? You donate all the funds to St. Jude's?
Yeah, the owners are really big on giving back. They're really great to the community. And
congratulations,
they
guys.
do have
awesome.
kids, so it's important to them. And then we have peanut butter and cookie dough, which is the most popular one, and it has a chunk of cookie dough in it, and that's my personal favorite.
This has cookie dough in it?
This bad boy
one.
right
Oh my
here.
God, I was going to say, look at that.
And then we do like old school, like the coconut macaroons, which are gluten-free, and then French macaroons we're really big on. Also, same thing, hundreds of flavors in those guys, and then a bunch of different cookies.
Sherry, I can't save the martini for you because it's going to be great. So I just got your message. I'm sorry. Martini's going to be gone. There's so many people calling dibs on this thing already. All right. Over 300 different cupcakes.
Yes, it's crazy. So you can come in and just request a cupcake, give us a little bit of a notice, and we'll make it for you.
So are people creating their own style and then telling you and you're having to make it, or do you have all these that you're familiar with?
You could do whatever you want. If you came in and literally was like, I want a strawberry cupcake with mango frosting, we could do that for you. Like, you can design your own cupcake for your event if you want. It's crazy.
So red velvet is my big thing. Everyone out there that knows I love red velvet, so red velvet is going to have to be the one that I come in to see extra.
You gotta come in, and we have wines to pair with it, which is perfect.
See, this is like wine and dessert. I'm like, this is my new thing. All right, so talking about the cupcakes, there is a club, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about this club.
We have a cupcake of the month club, which you can sign up for. Come into the shop. You can get 4 months, 6 months, 12 months, in all different box sizes. And then you come in every month and pick out whichever cupcake you want out of the case. And the case is never the same. We always have different cupcakes. We don't know what we're going to have because the bakers kind of have a free-for-all, and we just create what we want, which is cool because there's never the same flavor.
No, but it makes it fun, too.
Yeah, it makes it a great job, too. So creativity.
So you come in and you pick out the cupcakes. The guests pick out the cupcakes.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would.
It's perfect for any type of gift.
Absolutely.
Christmas, birthday.
Yeah, so you can give that as a gift, but also keep one for yourself. That's what I'd be doing because I can't give it to somebody else and then I'd enjoy myself. So that's just me. Anyways, so we've got the salons. We talked about the type of stuff you carries. Special occasions. So we've been talking throughout the segment about this being the sweet side of life and people pretty much can make celebrations any day that they want, create new things. But you guys have got special holidays that I'm sure you get absolutely crazy for.
Yeah, it's nuts.
So you just had Easter, so I'm sure that was a big one.
That was crazy. Christmas is crazy, but summer is also crazy because there's so much foot action on Main Street. So that's just one giant holiday for us.
So where's the location again? I don't know if we talked about the meeting when we described it.
We are right next to the Grill on Main, right across the Odeum. We're in the big yellow colonial house.
No, perfectly where
We're
you are.
hidden.
Yeah, no, but I know exactly where you are. I mean, and you guys also get a lot of tourist traffic over there when the summer starts going on.
Yeah.
So going back to the special occasions, is there specific things? So if so Mother's Day's coming up. I'm assuming people can come in, place these cupcake orders. Which, by the way, the cupcake thing is probably a great gift for mom because she doesn't have to bake. You can do it for her. So people can come in, place special orders with you, but also come in and shop at their will.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Is there specific things that you encourage people? So you were mentioning the variety of cupcakes that are out there, how they can create their own flavors. Do they actually call, come in, sit down? What is the preference of Silver Spoon for the guests?
All of our staff is trained, so if you have a busy life, you can actually just give us a call and kind of explain to us what you want. You can send us pictures that we're going to ask for, just if you want something more custom, color-wise, if you wanted fondant toppings, like whatever you'd like. But I definitely, if you want something custom, give us a call at least 48 hours in advance, and we could get it done for you. No biggie.
That's not bad, 48 hours in advance, that's
No.
nothing. So you said that you've been doing this for 8 years, so this has become a big passion of yours. So from what I heard, you're not only the executive pastry chef, you're managing the location, right?
Yeah.
So they've given you a lot of responsibility over there.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's not bad. It's not bad. No, I have great owners, so they don't put too much on me, and it's good. It's like a little family.
So now that you've got this and you've got people that you're training and bringing up under you and stuff like that, and you went to school for this to be able to do it, someone that's thinking about getting into this, and every guest I've had in today is saying that it's always evolving. You're mentioning that you could do 300 cupcakes, so that's obviously an evolution of things that can be made and done out there. What advice, or what would you say to people that are interested in getting in this? Would you encourage people to do it? Would you say that the sky's the limit on the things that they can learn?
No, I definitely, anybody can learn to bake, seriously. You just have to have the time to do it and the willingness to learn, because it is a lot and it just takes time. But anybody can do it, really. Anybody can learn how to bake.
And when you started, and you mentioned that you and Becky worked together back a while now, do you feel that there's people coming in that are looking for that chance that you could, that are, you know, that you're looking to hire when it comes?
Definitely. We have one girl, her name's Emily, and she basically worked in pizza shops. But she had the experience of just like cooking around ovens and then customer service on top of it. But now she's like, she frosts. You can't even tell the difference between mine and her frosting.
Really?
So, yeah, it's great.
Oh,
And
that's
we'll
a great
give
credit to you. You
anybody
got a nice
shot.
compliment there. Look at that. A shout out and a great compliment at the same time. So I have to end with this kind of question because I find it fascinating in the amount of, the variety of things that you can be able to do. What are some, if not one, but some of your favorite things to bake?
It is the cupcakes.
Really?
It's just creating more flavors to add to the shop, and it's fun. And then, I don't know, I get to put my own twist on everything, which is nice.
Do you have people that are coming in and saying, okay, because you have the wines and stuff like that, asking you to pair them up or asking
Oh
you
yeah,
to make
I
suggestions?
do that, yeah.
You do?
Because I did work in restaurants, and we did have to pair things with wine and drinks, so that's what I want to do.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations to
Thank you.
Everyone today has been fantastic that's come in, and knowing that you and Becky had this connection I think is great, and in talking to your owners on the phone, thank you guys for your commitment, and this giving back to charity I think is fantastic, so we'll make sure we make special note of that.
Awesome.
And your location is perfect, not just for regulars, but for you know, tourists that are coming out there as well. So thank you and congratulations
Thank you
to
for
you.
having us.
I got no idea what I'm going to dive into after this. This is awesome. Now you got to drink more of that wine and relax for a minute.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
All right. So right before I close out, I have to bring in one last special guest. Come here, you. So it's spring break week. Oh, look at you, even got the microphone on and everything, huh? Right?
Yeah.
So it's spring break week, and my son Giovanni, who has been in with me before last year as the summer was closing out, spent the day with me today, so I'm happy to have him here. So how's spring break for you? Has it been okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been good? Spending time with me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what'd you think of my segment today?
Great.
It was great? Did you try anything?
Yeah.
What'd you try?
Like I tried the cookies, the cupcakes.
Cookies, the cupcakes?
Yeah.
So you've been eating everything back there.
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Delicious? All right. So thank you for joining me. I'm Rick Simone. Thank you for checking out the taste and the sweet side of life today. I'll see you next week as we start to cover with some great Mexican destinations and talk about Cinco de Mayo. Thank you again for joining me.